All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the January 12th meeting of the New Jersey Transportation Planning Authority Board of Trustees. I want to wish everybody a happy new year, a healthy new year. I also want to welcome from Union County, the new representative, Commissioner Michelle Delafort. Commissioner Delafort is taking over for Commissioner Kowalski following her retirement from the board. And then we have Hunterdon County Commissioner Susan Soloway, to my right, who has served on the board in the past, and she was the county alternate last year. She's back on the board as their county representative this year. So welcome back, Commissioner. And then one more, while he could not be here today, I also want to share that Commissioner Frank Segehi of Ocean County is the new representative to our board, and he will have, and we will have two other new additions following the inauguration later this month of Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill and Jersey City Mayor-elect James Solomon. I also want to welcome today some people from Middlesex County who are here. Our Commissioner Director Ron Rios is in the audience. We also have John Carroll and Sean Northgrave from our Office of Public and Government Affairs. County Surrogate Clarabelle Cortez is, I believe, on her way if she's not here already. So thank you all for joining us. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that the microphones around the board table are sensitive and this meeting is being recorded. Denise, would you kindly read the Open Public Meetings Act?
Good morning, everyone. This is to advise that in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been forwarded to the Newark Star Ledger, the Asbury Park Press, the Courier News, the Daily Record, the Home News Tribune, the New Jersey Herald, and posted in the Essex County Hall of Records in Newark.
Thank you very much. Everybody would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we all could keep in our minds former state senator and acting governor Richard Cody, who passed away this weekend. So, Denise, would you kindly take the roll?
Yes. Bergen County,
Here.
Essex County,
Here.
Hudson County,
Here.
Hunterdon County, here. Jersey City,
Here.
Middlesex County,
Here.
Monmouth County,
Present, non-voting.
Morris County,
Here.
City of Newark,
Here.
Ocean County,
Here.
Passaic County,
Here.
Somerset County,
Here.
Sussex County,
Here.
Union County,
Present.
Warren County,
Here.
the Governor's Authorities Unit,
Here.
Department of Transportation,
Here.
New Jersey Transit,
Here.
Port Authority of New York, New Jersey.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Denise. Next is the approval of the minutes. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions to the minutes of the November 10th board meeting? I'll look to my left here. Anybody? Anybody to my right? Seeing none, they have a motion to approve the minutes.
Morris County moves to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Morris County. Can I have a second?
Second, Passaic.
Thank you, Passaic, for the second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. So we'll start with the chair's remarks. Now as the first vice chair, I'll present a report. Thank you again for being here today. I want to welcome Charles Brown, who many of you may know from his time at the Voorhees Transportation Center at Rutgers University. Charles is our featured speaker today. He'll be showcasing some national tools that can help local governments deliver better and safer projects. I look forward to hearing from him shortly. First, I want to highlight a few items on today's agenda that really reflect the value of the NJTPA's work and the role this board plays in turning federal resources into real local results. This meeting includes board actions on local concept development and sub-regional safety projects, which are great examples of how the NJTPA puts federal transportation dollars to work at the local level. Local concept development enables our city and our county subregions to explore options for improving our transportation network, whether that's replacing or rehabilitating an aging bridge or exploring ways to address safety and congestion along a busy corridor. By completing the concept development, the first step in the local concept project delivery process, the subregions qualify for federal funding for future phases of work all the way through construction. The subregional safety program will advance safety improvements that counties and municipalities have identified as priorities through local and NJTPA-supported planning efforts. In particular, these investments build on local safety action plans that the NJTPA completed with 8 subregions, helping translate those plans into real, on-the-ground safety projects that can reduce crashes and make streets safer for everyone. While the details being covered later in the morning, this work underscores the importance of aligning regional funding decisions with local identified needs and ensuring that planning leads to action. I also want to share a few updates on other projects underway at the NJTPA. 2 projects have been selected for the FY 2026 Vibrant Places Program. The City of Elizabeth Special Improvement District and Urban Enterprise Zone will create a cultural and arts placemaking plan for Midtown Elizabeth, and the Borough of Raritan will help develop a plan for its downtown and riverfront areas. These efforts will focus on strengthening public spaces, supporting local businesses, and creating more vibrant and welcoming places that reflect the character and priorities of each community. I also would like to highlight an NJTPA-funded project in Middlesex County that recently got underway. Palante Hall Avenue Complete Streets Project in the city of Perth Amboy. For those of you like me who don't speak Spanish, Palante means moving forward. This complete streets conceptualized study will evaluate traffic and safety conditions along Hall Avenue and the surrounding neighborhood and develop improvement concepts focused on safer crossings, calmer traffic, and improved access to public transportation. This project is especially significant because it's serving as a pilot program for the NJTPA. The lessons learned from this effort will help us evaluate whether a formal complete streets conceptualization program is warranted and will inform future decisions about program structure, scope, and deliverables. The study is centered on community input and is designed to make daily travel safer and more comfortable for residents of all ages and abilities. Public engagement is already underway through an interactive online map with additional community workshops and a street redesign demonstration planned in the coming months. Taken together, the projects and programs before us today, as well as those already underway, demonstrate how the NJTPA supports communities in moving from planning to implementation to advance shared regional goals around mobility, safety, accessibility, and quality of life. These are just a few examples of the great work we do in our region for working together, and that concludes my report. So at this time, I am going to ask the NJDOT, do you have any remarks this morning? Nope.
No remarks this morning.
Thank you. Port Authority, any remarks this morning?
No remarks.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to, who did I miss? Oh, Jersey Transit. David pointed out you didn't get away with it.
Thanks very much, Chair. No, just appreciation for our continued cooperation. I know today, we're scoring some of the CMAQ proposals that came in, and we've been working collaboratively on some. So all systems seem to be go.
Good, thank you. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our Executive Director, David Behrens, who would kindly give his report to the board.
Thank you, Commissioner Kenny. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. I would first want to thank Commissioner Kenny for chairing today's meeting. As many of you know, our outgoing chair, Ocean County Commissioner Jack Kelly, was elected to a new position as county clerk and is no longer on the board. So as first vice chair, we appreciate Commissioner Kenny leading the meeting. Now, later in the meeting, the board will elect new leadership for the next 2 years. And certainly I and the rest of the NJTPA staff look forward to working with the new officers and the rest of the board throughout 2026 and 2027. But before I talk about what's ahead in the new year, I do want to take a moment to look back on some of our work in 2025. Last month, New Jersey's Target Zero Commission, which I serve on, adopted an action plan with recommendations to move our state toward the goal of 0 traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2040. As was mentioned by the commissioner, safety is indeed a top priority at the NJTPA. And we have been working for a long time to help the state reach zero deaths in a variety of ways, including work on local safety action plans and funding for high priority local safety improvements like those on today's agenda. We all understand that achieving this goal will not be easy. It will take all of us working together across all levels of government to get to zero, which is, after all, the only acceptable number of traffic-related fatalities. Commissioner Kenny also touched on some of our technical assistance programs, mentioning Vibrant Places. Wanted to let you know that through that effort, we are currently finalizing a guide called From Streets to Stadiums, Transforming Public Spaces for the FIFA World Cup. That is, again, developed as part of the Vibrant Places initiative with NJIT and the Voorhees Transportation Center at Rutgers. And this publication will provide guidance on how to develop creative and adaptable soccer-themed spaces to serve as hubs for community gatherings during the upcoming World Cup and beyond. Some of you may have seen some presentation on that at I believe it was a Regional Transportation Advisory Committee meeting. This resource is aimed at helping communities enliven public spaces and bolster local economies. We look forward to sharing it with you and municipalities and community groups throughout the region very soon. While on the topic of technical assistance, I also wanted to mention that staff and volunteers are helping Berkeley Heights develop a transit hub plan for the town's train station area. Community survey launched last month to gather input, and that input will help shape draft recommendations coming out early this year. The Transit Hub Planning Program, conducted in partnership with the Center for Community Planning, the New Jersey chapter of the American Planning Association, and the NJTPA, helps communities develop strategic plans that improve transit station access, increase economic activity in that hub area, create improved public spaces, and promote a more vibrant and connected community. You know, this, like much of our work, is focused on collaboration. I do just want to give a few more examples of this. Some of you may recall that we worked with New York City and others in 2024 to complete a regional priority climate action plan funded by a climate pollution reduction grant from the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. The next step in that effort is to complete a comprehensive climate action plan. We anticipate sharing the plan in the coming months and submitting it to the EPA in June. It will outline a variety of measures we can take to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in our region. Also, last month, we hosted a biannual meeting of the Morris Canal Working Group, where we met the Canal Society of New Jersey's new executive director, Lori Boyle, and heard updates on various projects from the many partners working together to complete the Greenway. Members were excited to hear about a $1.33 million transportation alternative grant approved by this board for a towpath preservation project in Wharton Borough. In addition, the New Jersey Historic Trust provided funding for 2 museum projects, the Old Town Hall in Little Falls and the Collins House in Bloomfield. Warren County, with the help of the Warren County Parks Foundation and New Jersey Youth Corps, acquired land in Rockport for a quarter-mile trail along Route 57. So we continue to bring all these partners together to collaborate on making the 111-mile Greenway envisioned in our 2018 study a reality. In addition, in December, we hosted the annual meeting of the Metropolitan Area Planning Forum, a consortium of 10 metropolitan planning organizations and councils of government from New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. And that meeting featured a presentation by Bill Carews, Executive Director of the Association of Metropolitan Planning Organizations, on the status of reauthorization of federal surface transportation funding. In a nutshell, from what we heard, and there was a lot more that Bill talked about, and more information is available at the MAP Forum website, but you know, the current bill is expiring on September 30th of this year. Hard to believe that that's going to be the expiration of a 5-year bill that it seems like was approved maybe just yesterday. But the authorizing committees are drafting bill language, and committee leaders in both the Senate and the House have indicated they hope to have draft legislation out this spring. So far, there's been a focus on permitting reform to accelerate delivery and construction. And we also heard that there is bipartisan support for maintaining or even enhancing the local and regional role in decision-making, and that's certainly encouraging to hear. And we'll keep you updated as things develop and as additional information becomes available about reauthorization. Finally, I wanted to share that we're in the process of making our website more user-friendly and easy to navigate by moving to a new content management system that will streamline site navigation and our navigation menus. We expect the new site to go live later this month, and I encourage you to check it out and let us know what you think. That, Commissioner Kenny, concludes my report.
Thank you, David. At this time, we're going to have a presentation by Charles T. Brown, founder and CEO of Horizons 54. Consulting firm formerly known as Equitable Cities. Charles is an award-winning expert in planning and policy and has given keynote speeches and led workshops on transportation, health, and equity for audiences worldwide. He previously served as a senior research with the Allen M. Voorhees Transportation Center at Rutgers University, where he authored several groundbreaking national and local studies. He is an adjunct professor at the Edward J. Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy at Rutgers. Charles is going to present on national tools helping local governments deliver safer projects. But this time, Charles, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Board. Thank you, NJTPA, for having me here. It's truly an honor. It's been about 5 years since I've been here, and it's really good to see what you've done with this space. Thank you. Thank you so much. So today I want to talk to you about from idea to implementation, national tools helping local governments deliver safer projects. I want to do so based upon the federal work that we're doing around the country. I'll speak to you about 3 different programs: the RCI program, which is Reconnecting Communities Institute, the HUD's Thriving Community program, and the DOT Thriving Communities program. I would like to state that I'm not a spokesperson for either of them. My company provides technical assistance at a national level. And of course, being based in Franklin, Somerset, New Jersey, I didn't want New Jersey to miss out on those opportunities. So that's what I'll be sharing here today. I want to start, though, with 3 main questions. And I'm asking these questions not for the sake of provocation, or as my Canadian friends would say, provocation. I'm asking them because they're the same questions that we've been hearing throughout the state and around the country. And those are questions I would like to ask here. Firstly, the question is, why do so many communities struggle to move from safety plans to built projects? I ask this question because plans are adopted, safety goals are clearly stated, funding opportunities are identified, and then, unfortunately, projects stall. We often talk about this among ourselves as sort of a technical problem or a design problem, or better yet, a problem with engagement, public engagement, stakeholder engagement. But if that was the whole story, we wouldn't see the same pattern happening, not just here in the state, but all over the country. So the next question I would have you ponder is, are we failing at safety, or are we asking local governments to simply do the impossible? And I ask that because really this question is about shifting where the responsibility lies. Because when you look closely at what happens on the ground, what you don't see is indifference. You see people committed to doing the work. You see them wearing multiple hats. You see engineering and planning teams that are stretched thin. You also see elected officials who are navigating real political risk. But they're doing this despite the fact that expectations are continuing to rise for faster delivery from everyone, fewer mistakes, and even broader consensus. What I'm here to state is that that's not failure, that's strain. And so the next question I would have you consider is, if we know what saves lives, why is it still so hard for local governments to deliver safety projects? This is the question that ultimately took my work from local to national to international, because I care about where I live and I wanted answers to those very questions so I can bring them back here to New Jersey. Because what I found is that once you stop blaming communities and start examining the systems, what you'll see is that a different picture emerges. And what that is that the issue isn't that we don't know what works. It's the system that local governments operate within that consistently do not support delivery. And so With that being said, I want to discuss the importance of moving from knowing to doing. And this is this gap between knowledge and delivery. In this room and outside of this room, we know what saved lives. I've done research for over a decade plus, so we have decades of research. We have design guidance. We have federal funding programs, but knowing is not the same as doing. And ultimately, delivery requires staffing. It also requires coordination. And lastly, delivery requires political confidence. And so when we look at what's happening, we're seeing these gaps once again over and over again. This brings me to a picture that really changed my career here in New Jersey. And this is the West Ward of Newark. And I want to be very clear about something up front. Newark, the city itself, wasn't a problem. They were committed. They've always been committed. We were brought in as part of a complete streets conceptualization early before the technical assistance was delivered to reimagine what this street would look like. The residents showed up. The city of Newark showed up. The Urban League showed up. They stated to us what they wanted in the changes that existed or could exist along this roadway. And what many of them wanted is exactly what you want. They wanted sidewalks repaired. They wanted beautification in the area. They wanted street trees. They wanted a road diet. They also wanted bike lanes. And I want to touch on bike lanes because nationally and even locally, there's been a conversation that sometimes bike lanes are white lanes, pun intended. But the point is there's no research to back that. The people there in this predominantly Black and brown community wanted exactly what everyone else wanted. What they didn't want is to be displaced once these changes came. And so when we look at this from the standpoint of Newark, while Newark wanted it, they're operating in a system that doesn't give them enough control to bring these realities about. And so what we find locally among local governments is that this isn't a matter of commitment. This is a system that isn't designed to help them function at the highest level. That brings me to why this matters for NJTPA in New Jersey. It brings us here because this is a New Jersey problem, but it's not a New Jersey failure. The reason this matters for NJTPA and for New Jersey is simple. The challenges that we're solving nationwide, safety, staffing, coordination, and project development, are the same challenges that New Jersey communities are facing right now. So this isn't about being behind. It's about operating in a system that makes delivery harder than it needs to be. And I feel that NJTPA and the parties here are at a critical intersection in this city, because we are aware of the rising safety risks, the staffing shortages and burnout, and also the lack of coordination in some cases across agencies. And so what this ultimately does then is make project development uncertain. Here are the three tools that I would like to bring to your attention that we currently are working as part of delivering technical assistance. Some of you will be aware of them, some of you may not. Please note that they are for everyone. Here are the three tools. One is the HUD Technical Assistance Program, better known as the TCTA, and I'll touch on each and every one of these individually. The Reconnecting Communities Institute and the Thriving Communities Program. So one important thing to note as part of this ecosystem that is designed to support local government from a federal government standpoint is that these are not standalone programs. In fact, they're designed to work together as an ecosystem to support you and your communities. The first one I would like to bring your attention to is the Reconnecting Communities Institute. It's about building alignment before projects stall. The Reconnecting Communities Institute is a national platform that supports communities working to repair the harm caused by transportation infrastructure and advance projects that reconnect communities, improve safety, and restore opportunity. Why does that matter in this context? Because if we look around throughout the state, in particular in our region, what we find is that past infrastructure decisions have left too many communities divided, unsafe, or disconnected. And that is not just for Black and Brown communities, that's also for other low-income communities as well. And so today's challenge, which is why the Reconnecting Communities Institute came about, is not just rebuilding the infrastructure. It is about rebuilding that trust with community. It's about realigning ourselves and about having a shared purpose. So ultimately, what this does is it addresses the legacy harm from this infrastructure. It also builds shared understanding. And then lastly, it reduces political friction early. A lot of the friction comes about, sure, through a lack of intentional public outreach and engagement, but it's also political friction on the multiple levels of government when there's misalignment. So what it solves for a community would be this fragmented ownership, this fear of missteps, and then lastly, the misalignment across agencies. I want to point out that all three of these programs started under the Biden-Harris administration, but they continue under the Trump administration. So these are programs that, regardless of one's policies or politics, they've been deemed necessary to help local communities because local communities need help the most. The next one is the USDOT Thriving Communities Program. See, it's about moving from vision to fundable projects. And when we look at the USDOT Thriving Communities Program, it provides hands-on technical assistance to help these underserved communities plan, scope, and advance their transportation projects that ultimately, once again, improve safety, access, and economic opportunities. And this matters here because if you go around the room and speak to municipal reps, what you're going to hear is that there is a lack of staff capacity to actually move projects forward. There's a lack of technical expertise. And then what happens as a result, there's a lack of overall confidence to get it done for the people that they serve. And so programs like the Complete Streets Technical Assistance Program, the Vibrant Places and Community Program, those are all great things at a local level. So think about the values of that program, but one with, I hate to say putting something on steroids, so I would say giving it more vitamins. This is what this is. This is preparing you for federal funding. And so one of our communities here, the city of East Orange, was a recipient of that. I want to point out that it was only one of our communities. These programs are put before you because given the population of New Jersey, the need at the local level, we should have far more communities represented. And so when you look at the Thriving Communities Program, what it does is provides the hands-on technical assistance from some of the best minds in the world. It grants readiness and project scoping, and it also helps address leadership and capacity building. What it solves is answering the question or the concern regarding you not having staff. It also addresses the concern of you missing another cycle or if you don't know where to start. So if you need a brain trust, you're working at the local level, this is a program that you would want to be part of to help you strategically move forward. And then lastly, there's housing. There's the HUD, Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Program. And one of the disconcerting or concerning parts about this particular program is that there should be at least 10,000 more applications to be part of this because communities all over the country are struggling with housing stability and instability. They're dealing with affordable housing crises, so on and so forth. So this is about taking what we've just heard about transportation and aligning it with transportation, housing, and land use. This matters because as communities invest federal dollars into transportation, utilities, and so forth, housing must be planned alongside these investments. And so what it does ultimately then is integrate safety with housing and development. It support cross-sector coordination. And what it solves is siloed planning. Many of us who go to planning school enjoy the fact that we can work on multiple things within the realm of planning at once, only to go out into our careers and being told your transportation only, your environment only, your outreach and engagement only, or your housing only. We know out of our hearts of hearts we would like to move beyond the silo field and address all of these issues head on. This gives you an opportunity to work beyond that. It also addresses missed joint funding opportunities and community resistance driven by fear. Where does fear comes from? Uncertainty. And so some of you may be wondering, are these tools available and who can use them? The answer is that yes, they're still available. When you look to the RCI, there are 3 groups that enter into this institute. One is the planning group. One is there's the entry-level group, there's a planning group, there's the implementation group. We oversee the entry-level group. So if you were to join this or have thoughts about joining it, we'll probably work with you directly along with our counterparts. The DOT TCP is recurring, it's competitive, but given the resources that NJTPA provides here with assisting local governments, I believe that you'll be able to mitigate some of the competitive disadvantages that towns have. And then lastly, the HUD one is TCTA. It is request-based, it's on a rolling request, but you have to be under 250,000 ideally to be prioritized, but that does not disqualify you. As you know, most of New Jersey municipalities are under a population of 250,000. I think only Newark and Jersey City, don't get mad at me if there are others, but Newark and Jersey City, I know, are at or above that piece. And so you may be wondering then, how do these tools work together? In summary, the RCI is about that alignment and trust, ensuring that you have that very, very early from the community all the way up to the decision makers. The HUD TCP is about longer term integration. And then lastly, the thriving community is about project readiness. And so if you want examples of what this has looked like around the country, here's an example in your front yard or backyard, depending on where you're oriented. And that is the example of the oranges. This was work that NJTPA was involved in very early, which was looking at the freeway drive and station area safety and public realm. We worked with the local governments there by way of a tactical urbanism project. There were some other policy and programmatic areas, including a bicycle ride. And as you can see here, that resulted in paint literally on the ground. The main thing to note from that is that they'd had a longstanding challenge of engaging with DOT. And it wasn't that DOT was opposed to, working with the community. It could have been simply they didn't know who to email. And so, in short, what happened there is that relationship was built upon. DOT was contacted, DOT was aware, and DOT provided feedback regarding what could ultimately lead to a successful project here. So something as simple as just getting the ear of the people that you need to hear most could be a result of this program. This other one is for a beach town, not here in New Jersey, because again, we didn't have many New Jersey municipalities participate. This one instead is Atlantic Beach. Not Atlantic City, but Atlantic Beach. And Atlantic Beach is in South Carolina. If you can imagine a donut, Atlantic Beach is the hole in the donut. It is a historically Black town that was fighting for dignity to be recognized by state, regional governments to ensure that their town was protected against gentrification. If you all are familiar with Bike Week, meaning motorcycles that come to South Carolina yearly, this is the place that they traverse through. And so they wanted to preserve their dignity. They wanted to get the attention of DOT. So they requested multiple forms of technical assistance, from data collection to audits to GIS mapping. And they too ultimately ended, by way of historic preservation, putting down a marker to denote that this is a historically Black town. The point here is not to share with you the racial history of this piece, but to let you know that this program is not just about the urban places. This is also about beach, shore, tribal, and other communities as well. Then we have Syracuse, which is where I'm headed this afternoon. If you're familiar with Syracuse, you'll know that Syracuse, there's the viaduct that's coming down. It's a coordination between DOT and HUD, so it's where these programs all come together. So they're tearing down the viaduct there to reconnect the community. Simultaneously, a public housing complex is coming down, and they're looking to rebuild that with mixed use and affordable housing. And so this program is helping to provide the support for outreach and engagement that ultimately gives the residents confidence that they won't be displaced. This is coordination at a whole nother level. And so if there are communities here that have been impacted by transportation decision-making and is struggling with affordable housing possibilities, look to Syracuse as a way to infuse community outreach and engagement in that process. And then lastly, one of the things that we're seeing is the power of storytelling. This is Rexburg, Idaho. This is a historically white community, many of which are low income. They put together a barriers video to showcase how they're struggling with transportation access and mobility across the town. They brought us in to film this, and they're using this storytelling element as a powerful tool to acquire more funding. So thinking beyond the transportation context or tools or methods of how you do this, please consider storytelling. It remains a very powerful tool. And so just to wrap up here, again, the point for coming here to talk about this is I hate to see the lack of municipal governments involved in these programs in the context of New Jersey. We have far too many needs to have so little participation. Please do whatever you can to be more visible, to apply, and to ask questions. Lastly, what we're seeing is that safety moves faster when framed operationally versus from an ideological standpoint. Safety is the new word. Safety is the way to go. So continue to get the safety data, the safety storytelling, so on and so forth, to better position yourselves for federal funding. Also, the engagement. It must protect staff, not expose them. Then we see that sequencing beats novelty or innovation. And ultimately, if one is concerned about political risk, what these programs do is provide the clarity that reduces that. And if you take nothing else from this, please know that the multimedia piece has been shown to accelerate trust. There's something about today's time, whether it be Netflix or YouTube, but multimedia is working. And so what I want to end with here, given the love that I have for New Jersey, NJTPA, and all of you here, is that we don't need more ambition. What we need is less friction. We have to get out of our ways. We have to take advantage of the federal programs that are here. And my hope is that you do so starting today. Thank you for your time, and I'm available for any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Charles. What I'm going to do is, on my right-hand side, anybody have any questions they'd like to? Go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Charles, thank you, as always, for an excellent and inspiring and presentation. And for someone who has been working in local government, couldn't hit harder to home how you nailed the systemic challenges that local governments face in delivering projects. My question is about, based on your experience with these programs, what is the number one or maybe top two challenges that getting more communities into these programs face? What are the roadblocks?
Yeah, number one is awareness. They simply aren't aware. The federal government does an excellent job promoting this, but you kind of need to be in the know to actually know. What I did today was bring that know to you. So awareness is number one. Number two is confidence. Are we just participating to participate, or will we actually get accepted to be part of something special? What we have to do is, as you know, Mike, you're a very competent person, ensure that other municipalities are confident. They can see that the Jersey cities, the Hobokens are successful because they first believed that they could be. And so part of this is changing the mindsets of people. Thirdly, what we're seeing is once they are accepted, they don't have the sort of administrative support. And so because there's a lack of capacity, engineers, planners are pulled in several different directions. So even when they're in the system, you either see staffing turnover at an alarming rate, or you see them being pulled to something that is antithetical to what they agreed to. And so that's the role that local government here can play, is take things more seriously as it relates to staffing commitment, because we see what it could do in the places that I've mentioned.
Anyone else?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Charles?
Hey, good to see you.
Nice rebrand. This question, I just want to make a correction on. My hometown is East Orange.
Yeah.
And I previously worked for the New Jersey Department of Transportation, and it's not about just happening to somebody to get an email. That problem at Freeway Drive has been a problem for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not that simple. It's almost a deliberate attempt by the New Jersey Department of Transportation not to deal with issues. NJTPA had a study in 2011 that I was involved with. They know the problem was there. They got a recent study, even with your federal study. What's the difference? So just to roll out a federal program and say that's the answer and that municipalities, that's not it. There's a larger issue, and New Jersey Transit knows it. The NJDOT knows it. There really has to be some conversation about it, because it's just not as simply as not knowing, lack of capacity. There's historical issues, which your presentations used to cover, but now I don't know if they're covering them now with your new position. But those are issues that need to be in the forefront.
Yeah, so let me address that head on. Number one is not a rebrand because of political insensitivity. It's a rebrand because my company was named Equitable Cities. I haven't gone public other than just now. It's Horizon 54. That started prior to the new administration. That started because when you're named Equitable Cities, people think you can only do equity work. And I wanted people to see the over 2 decades of work we were doing prior to equity becoming a buzzword. I feel that Horizon 54 would better capture that. And so me not discussing equity explicitly today has nothing to do with the times. I didn't simplify the issue in Orange and East Orange. What I was stating was the contact with DOT, as stated by the people who were representing an application at the time, was a barrier. Now, all the deep-rooted things that you talked about, we all know. The question is, what are we going to do about it? This program here that I'm bringing is one way to actually address that. So that thing that we minimized, that getting in contact with one person there, was solved. Now, what happens beyond that is up to people like you. I'm just here to point out that there are resources available to make the connection happen. And sometimes the connection is the very thing that people need, but it may not be the only thing.
Thank you. Anybody else on my right? Anybody on my left? Commissioner?
Yeah, thank you, Charles. So I was going to originally ask, it seemed that everything was focusing on the urban environment, not the suburban environment, but I guess you cleared that up. So
Absolutely.
That's good to hear. I mean, my guess would be the biggest impediment, and I've been in local and county government for a long time now, is bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And you hear about a grant program and you go online to download the grant documents and, you have a 2-inch thick binder. And it's just so hard to wade through all of that, especially on the local municipal level, even on the county level. So I don't know how you address that, or if you can address that. And then that leads into my real question. These 3 groups, are they actually supplying grant dollars or facilitating grant dollars from other already operating entities?
Yeah, so I just turned 46 in November. What was your first question? I need one question at a time now.
Bureaucracy. How do you deal with the bureaucracy of any grant program, especially on the federal level? I mean, it's just it's overwhelming.
Yes. Well, first of all, you know it's going to be there, number one, so you accept it. Number two, the way you mitigate it is by dealing with experienced people who have successfully navigated those processes. Part of the RCI, that first program, is to help you do that. So you're not alone mitigating these challenges around federal processes. That program was put in place specifically for that. So what's the takeaway? You no longer have to do it yourself. You simply have to give someone the autonomy to participate in the RCI so they can gain the knowledge and awareness of how to navigate that to overcome it. That's how you do it. You're no longer by yourself wondering what to do, when to do, and how to do it. That program is for that reason. It's certainly not just about the urban areas. I live in the suburbs. This is about all communities that qualify.
Okay, and so are these the three groups? I mean, the RCI, I guess, is just helping you wade through other grant programs. Are there grant programs specific to those groups? Or
Yeah.
you're pulling the money from other?
So these programs are about technical assistance. So giving you or preparing you to be competitive for grant programs. So it's a big jump to go from the bureaucracy that you mentioned to applying to be competitive for a grant program. RCI makes that entry much more digestible by now equipping you with the knowledge that you need to apply. And then thus you're more competitive to potentially win resources when they become available. So this is about making you shovel ready. I can remember when I worked for the City of Orlando, sitting before MPO boards like this, the City of Orlando would win a lot of projects, not because their application was the best, but because they were prepared prior to everyone else, meaning they were ready to go when other people were not. It's hard to be ready to go when you're not investing in staff to have them do plans and programs when it's not an emergency, but it's wise to do so because the funding cycle will come around and better prepare, and you'll be better prepared than most. So it's about preparation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Charles,
Mhm.
great. Really comprehensive. Few questions for you.
Okay. One at a time,
yeah. I'll keep it simple. One of the questions, well, thank you for the clarification.
Mhm.
I was trying to figure out whether or not it was a good program or.
Let me say something about there's the Thriving Communities funding, the pilot projects. There's this Safe Streets for All funding that many New Jersey communities got. So there is funding out there. These are preparing you for those funding opportunities. Mm-hmm.
So, and you did start off by saying visionary.
Yeah.
So, given the lack of capacity, this program essentially helping strategize and then put something on paper
Mm-hmm.
and help them identify different resources.
Correct.
From those opportunities or those proposals. You also give assistance in preparation of the proposals, and if so, I guess what the overarching question: how long does the entity that you bring consultant stay with?
We stay with you throughout your initial time frame, whatever you identify as a need, which is attached to a time frame. We're with you throughout that entire process. We don't do, we guide. That's the difference between technical assistance, is that we're guiding. Some of you are miles ahead already if you consider what NJTPA has already prepared for you by way of the Complete Streets Conceptual Program, which could better position towns for funding. You can raise that up to the national level. Just, I would say, enroll in that, be competitive for that. That gives you an advantage that most don't have.
And say that you guide, you also provide recommendations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just feel like in the context of this conversation, it's important to remind folks about our technical assistance programs that we offer, which Charles just touched on. Though through our sub-regional programs, we offer assistance to our member counties and 2 member cities on the board. And then in recent years, we've developed and continued to grow our municipal technical assistance programs, which are open to any municipality with the support of their member county. And yeah, Complete Streets Technical Assistant, Vibrant Places, Technical Assistance, Planning for Emerging Centers. All of these provide planning technical assistance to communities. And as I really like to remind those local governments when they're thinking about whether or not to participate in this, it's federally funded, comes through us, but the municipality does not have to have any federal grant management responsibilities, does not have to do procurement. with federal funds. That's all taken care of. So we will kind of eliminate that whole, that extreme bureaucracy side of it. So certainly we would encourage any municipalities interested in the kind of work that these programs support to apply. We would encourage our county folks to share that information when it's available. Our resources are limited too. We'd like to be able to do more of that technical assistance. We'll continue to try to do that. But they've been very successful programs, and there are multiple examples, for instance, of folks who did a complete streets technical assistance work that led to successful transportation alternative grants for real implementable improvements. So just always want to remind people about those programs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you want to take a couple of questions from the audience?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Anybody in the audience have a question? You want to raise your hand? Done such a good job. Nobody's got a question. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
All right. So we're going to move on to our committee reports. At this time, Commissioner Soloway is going to present the Project Prioritization Committee report. Commissioner?
Thank you. I'm pleased to report on the activities of the Project Prioritization Committee at the December 15th joint meeting. The committee reviewed and recommends approval of the 4 action items before the board vote today. The first action item is a minor amendment to the fiscal year 2026-2029 Transportation Improvement Program, or TIP, to add to the Board Street Bridge over Dorataki's Rum Tributary Project in Bergen County. This project replaces the existing Broad Street Bridge with a precast concrete culvert and will be funded with $800,000 of congressionally designated funds for preliminary engineering in fiscal year 2026. Federal Highway Administration requires that we include this project in the TIP to complete the funding authorization process for the Borough of Norwood. The second item is approval of the Memorandum of Understanding on the procedures to revise the TIP and statewide transportation improvement program. The Memorandum of Understanding between the state's 3 metropolitan planning organizations, the New Jersey Department of Transportation, the New Jersey Transit, has not been updated since 2012. Revisions are needed to align with current federal guidelines and to account for inflation. The third item is the approval of 4 local concept development projects in Hudson, Ocean, Bergen, and Passaic and Essex counties. As Commissioner Kenny mentioned, local concept development is the first phase of work for the Local Capital Project Delivery Program. During this initial phase, the subregions will explore potential options to address transportation needs, such as rehabilitating or replacing aging or deteriorating infrastructure, or exploring ways to improve safety and operations. Projects that successfully complete this first phase of work are eligible for federal funding for additional phases through this construction. The final item is the approval of the fiscal year 2026 Sub-Regional Safety Improvement Program. Over the past 20 years, the NJTPA Board has approved more than $400 million in federally highway safety improvement program funding for safety projects on county and local roads through the Local Safety and High-Risk Rural Roads Program. In 2024, the NJTPA solicited applications for these statewide programs, but during the project selection process, the Federal Highway Administration paused these programs for reassessment and revision to ensure compliance with current federal guidelines and executive orders. To help advance these important sub-regional safety improvements during this reassessment period, central staff is recommending uses surface transportation planning block grant funds for 12 projects. This action item recommends allocating $156 million for construction and construction inspection, and the $15 million for design for these projects throughout our region. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So we're going to move the 4 action items on the Project Prioritization Committee on today's agenda. If I call out, if you're, make the motion and I say where you're from, that's fine. But if I'm looking for a second and I don't have somebody, then I ask that you please say what area you're from when you make the motion. So the first one is the minor amendment to the FY 26-29 Transportation Improvement Program to add the Broad Street Bridge over Dorataki's Run tributary project in Bergen. I understand that Bergen would like to move this item.
Yes, Chairman, Bergen would like to move the minor adjustment for the F 2026-2029 Transportation Improvement Program for Broad Street, over Dortucky's tributary.
Thank you very much. May I have a second?
Warren will second.
Thank you, Warren. Any comments from the board members on this item? Any comments from members of the public on this item? Ed, anybody on the, no? Okay. So Denise, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County, Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex County,
Yes.
Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County,
Yes.
Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
The item passes.
Thank you. Our second item is the approval of the memorandum of understanding on procedures to revise the TIP and the STIP. I understand that Essex County would like to move this item.
Essex moves.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Warren will second again.
Thank you, Warren. Any comments from the board members on this item? Any comments from the public? Anybody online, Ted?
Not at this
Nope.
time.
All right, Denise, would you please call the roll?
Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County, Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex County,
Yes.
Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County, Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
The item passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the FY26 local concept development projects. I understand Ocean County would like to move this item.
Yes. Okay. Ocean County makes a motion to approve.
Thank you, Ocean County. Jersey City, would you second?
Yes. Jersey City seconds.
Thank you, Jersey City. Any comments from the board members on this item? Any comments from the public? Denise, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County,
Yes.
Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex County,
Yes.
Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County,
Yes.
Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
The item passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is the approval of the FY26 Sub-Regional Safety Improvement Program. I understand that Sussex County would like to move this item.
Yes, Sussex moves this item.
Thank you very much. May I have a second?
Warren will second.
Thank you, Warren. Any comments from the board members on this item? Any comments from members of the public? This time, Denise, would you call the roll?
Yes. Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County,
Yes.
Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex County,
Yes.
Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County,
Yes.
Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
The item passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, the Plan and Economic Development Committee will get a report on. Commissioner Sarnosky will give the report. Commissioner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am pleased to report on the activities of the Planning and Economic Development Committee's December 15th meeting. Thank you, Commissioner Kenny, for chairing the committee during my absence. The meeting featured a presentation from David Torres and Robert Gillian of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, who provided an update on the Midtown Bus Terminal project. The 75-year-old facility is being replaced with a modern terminal that addresses current and future needs, including a projected 40% increase in passenger volume by 2040. The first phase of construction is underway and expected to be completed by 2027, with the final phase to be completed by 2035. The new main terminal will have 5 floors of bus gates and a fully ADA-compliant atrium for passengers, while maintaining direct connections to New York City subway.
It also includes updated storage and staging facilities with layover space for up to 350 buses, 3.5 acres of open public space, and 2 private development towers that will help fund the entire project. The committee also reviewed and recommends approval of 2 action items that are on before the board for a vote today. The first item is the approval of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, or DVRPC, and the NJTPA on the Metropolitan Planning Organization boundaries and coordination. MOUs like this one are required by federal law whenever urbanized areas cross MPO boundaries. This update reflects changes from the 2020 census and clarifies transportation planning and programming responsibilities for shared urban areas, including Trenton, Lambertville, and New York, Jersey City, Newark urban areas. Approval of this action authorizes the chair to execute the MOU, thus maintaining clear rules and meeting federal requirements. The second item on the agenda is the adoption of the NJTPA specific roadway safety performance measure targets for 2026. The Federal Highway Administration requires state departments of transportation and metropolitan planning organizations to collect and report on performance data for safety targets and related to fatalities and serious injuries. The New Jersey Department of Transportation submitted its annual targets to FHWA in August, and the NJTPA has 180 days to support those targets or adopt its own. NJTPA has set its own regional targets since 2022, and the current targets reflect 5-year averages for the 22 through 26 period, compared against the 2020 to 24 baseline. The targets align with our goal of eliminating serious injuries and fatalities by 2050, as outlined in the Connecting Communities, the NJTPA Long Range Transportation Plan. With the recent completion of the state's Target Zero plan, which sets a goal of 0 fatalities by 2040, the NJTPA will re-examine the target year for 0 deaths in our next annual performance target update. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sarneski. So we have 2 action items from Planning and Economic Development Committee on today's agenda. First is the approval of the Memorandum of Understanding between the DVRPC and the NJTPA on the Metropolitan Planning Organization boundaries and coordinations. I understand Hudson would like to make a motion.
Yes, Hudson would like to move this application for approval.
Thank you very much. Can I have a second?
Warren Kennis, second.
Thank you very much. Any comments? Any comments from the board members? Any comments from the public? Denise, would you take the roll?
Yes. Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County,
Yes.
Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex
Yes.
County, Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County,
Yes.
Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes.
Thank you, Denise. Our second item and the last item is the adoption of the NJTPA specific roadway safety performance measures targets for 2026. I understand Morris County would like to move this item.
Yes, Morris County will move.
Thank you, Morris. Can I have?
Second.
Warren? Any
Warren
comments
was
from the
second.
board members on this side? Warren was the second. Any comments on this item? Any comments from the public on this item? All right, would you call the roll, please, Denise?
Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County,
Yes.
Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex County,
Yes.
Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County,
Yes.
Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
Item passes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Denise. Next up will be Commissioner Stephen Shaw, who will give us a Freight Initiatives Committee report. Commissioner Shaw?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am pleased to report on the December 15th Freight Initiatives Committee meeting. The meeting featured presentations from members of the New York City Department of Transportation's Freight Mobility Unit on E-commerce Delivery Mitigation Initiatives, a name so long that you will not find an acronym for it in the book. It was a packed agenda with 5 speakers who presented overviews of several innovative programs and campaigns, including the Freight Mobility Unit, which focuses on the delivery of goods while mitigating adverse impact by developing a comprehensive freight plan. This plan coordinates with sister agencies to create a regulatory environment that fosters innovation. Then there was the Microhubs pilot program, which focuses on the transition of goods from trucks to sustainable last-mile modes, such as cargo bikes and hand carts. This team is testing on-site street sites in Upper West Side with goals of improving environmental sustainability, public safety, and operational efficiencies for delivery workers. Then we had the mode shift strategies for cargo bikes, focuses on electric pedal assist bikes with cargo compartments. There are 800 cargo bikes operating in the city. Future developments include creation of cargo bike corrals for dedicated loading and unloading and publication of comprehensive safety training guide for companies and cyclists. The Locker New York City pilot program is a 24/7 shared use delivery locker system designed to reduce truck trips and package theft. There are 2 pilots, Go Locker, which consolidates packages at a central warehouse before delivery to lockers, and Quadient, which allows multiple carriers to drop off packages directly into lockers. Then there was the Curb Access Strategies and Neighborhood Loading Zones project, which provides dedicated curb space on narrow residential streets for deliveries, taxis, and personal vehicle loading. This program has expanded to 950 locations across all 5 boroughs, leading to a 70% reduction in double parking when properly implemented. And finally, the recently relaunched Truck Smart Safety Awareness Campaign, which educates truck operators and promotes safe driving behaviors to protect vulnerable roadway users, reduce fatal crashes, and align with the city's Vision Zero initiative. Target ads on LinkedIn and other platforms are designed to engage the industry and add broad reach advertising. These initiatives are great examples of creative approaches to addressing the challenges created by the explosive growth in e-commerce. That growth is particularly strong in northern and central Jerseys, and meeting these challenges is an important regional goal. In reports from committee members, the City of Newark shared that they received an additional $4 million from the state's Local Freight Impact Fund, bringing their total funding amount for roadway preservation work along the Raymond Boulevard corridor to $18 million. This additional funding will help the city implement its plan for the Morris Canal Bikeway. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Shaw. And I also want to just say to everybody, if you don't attend, make sure you attend our Freight Initiatives Committee meetings. They're always packed full with information, as you can tell, and for our whole community, I think the areas that we represent will be greatly served. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to public participation. Anybody here in the audience would like to speak, please raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone over to you. Oh, we got one. Oh, if you could come up to the microphone, I'm sorry. Please remember that you have 3 minutes time limit on your comments. The light on the timer will go from green to yellow to red when the 30 seconds are remaining, and then red when the 3 minutes are up. We ask that you keep your comments within this allotted time. We'll start with members of the public. So, sir, go right ahead.
Hello, my name is Vito Havrella. I'm here representing Route Restore Our Transit in Essex. So I'll be giving our statement. Route Restore Our Transit in Essex is a nonprofit transit advocacy organization focused on improving public transportation options for residents in Essex County. Our 2 primary goals are the implementation of hourly weekend service on the Montclair-Boonton line and restoration of 7-day bus service for communities formerly served by DCAMP routes 33, 44, 66, and 88. The loss of these bus routes has significantly impacted riders for almost 3 years since DCAMP abruptly stopped service. Hundreds of thousands of residents of Essex County are facing transit desert conditions, especially over weekends and off-peak hours. We are committed to expansion of both modes of transit, but we are beginning with the rail component due to stated constraints from New Jersey Transit. With the yearly transit appropriations bill soon to come up for debate, now the time is now to have these conversations. We request that the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority work with the Senate and Assembly Transportation Committees, relevant members of the legislature, and the governor procure funding in order to facilitate New Jersey Transit to improve weekend service on the Montclair-Boonton line. Specifically, we seek hourly weekend service between Montclair State University and Little Falls and Hoboken Terminal while maintaining the time transfer at Newark Broad Street. Expanding this weekend service improves the quality of life of so many people. It would better serve families, individuals whose work hours do not align to a standard Monday to Friday 9 to 5 schedule, those involved in academics pursuits / weekend classes, and riders who are transit dependent. It would also improve those riders who travel to and from Hoboken Terminal. It saves them time and stress. Weekend ridership across New Jersey transit rail system has returned to pre-pandemic levels. Over the past year, weekend ridership on the Morrison, Essex, and Montclair lines has been particularly strong. 3-car train sets on the Bay Street to Hoboken service are frequently at capacity, and on high-demand weekends, 4- and 5-car train sets have been required. Last month, several weekend trains experienced standing room only conditions, and at least one Morrison, Essex line train was unable to accommodate additional passengers at Newark Broad Street. We recognize that implementing this service will require additional crews and 2 additional in-service train sets. Accordingly, we request that the NJTPA support and recommend funding for this proposal that would provide critical service improvements to the Montclair-Bruton line in the upcoming fiscal year. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Do we have anybody online, Ted?
No, sir, not at this time.
All right, so I will close the public portion at this time. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to David Behrens. It's going to be the report of the nominating committee and elections of the executive committee. In Commissioner Kelly's absence, I'm going to ask David to present the report of the nominating committee, which will follow with the election of the executive committee for 2026-2027 term. So David, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Last month, Chairman Kelly convened a nominating committee consisting of Union County Commissioner Betty Jane Kowalski and Monmouth County Commissioner Tom Arnone. The committee met December 18th to discuss and review nominations for the NJTPA officers for the next 2 years. The nominating committee agreed unanimously to recommend the following slate of officers for the new term. For chair, Middlesex County Commissioner Charles Kenny. First vice chair, Warren County Commissioner Jason Sarnoski. Second vice chair, Union County Commissioner Michelle Delisfort. Secretary, Passaic County Commissioner John Bartlett. In accordance with the bylaws, after the election, the new chair will appoint the third vice chair. And I will now turn it back over to Commissioner Kenny to begin the election process.
Thank you, David. So are there any nominations from the board? All right, seeing none, then we'll go to the nominations that are put before us. I accept the nomination for chair of the NJTPA. I'm going to ask Commissioner Sarneski, do you accept the nomination for first vice chair?
It would be my honor. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner Delisfort, do you accept the nomination?
I do. Thank you very much.
Was that a yes?
That was a yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Bartlett, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you all very much. So may I have a motion to approve the slate of candidates? Can I get a motion?
Morris County will make a motion to approve the slate of candidates.
Thank you, Morris County. Can I have a second?
Jersey City will second.
Thank you, Jersey City. Any comments from the board members? Any comments from members of the public on the nominations or elections? All right, Denise, would you please take the roll?
Bergen County,
Yes.
Essex County,
Yes.
Hudson County,
Yes.
Hunterdon County,
Yes.
Jersey City,
Yes.
Middlesex
Yes.
County, Morris County,
Yes.
Ocean County,
Yes.
Passaic County,
Yes.
Somerset County,
Yes.
Sussex County,
Yes.
Union County,
Yes.
Warren County,
Yes.
Governor's Authorities Unit,
Yes.
Department of Transportation,
Yes.
New Jersey Transit.
Yes.
The item passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. So as my first act, I'd like to congratulate my fellow executive committee members. And my second act is going to be as chair. I would like to appoint Morris County Commissioner Stephen Shaw as third vice chair. Commissioner Shaw, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Shaw. All right. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for entrusting me with the position of chair. I'm eager to continue the great work of the NJTPA, and I'm honored to follow in the footsteps of Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Bartlett, and all the past chairs who have served the NJTPA so well. As David mentioned in his report, this is a critical time to serve on the board as we work with our federal partners to ensure funding continues to flow into our region for the much-needed transportation improvements. We'll also be working to implement the long-range plan we adopted last September. A key priority in our plan and for the state with the adoption of its first Target Zero action plan is making travel safer for everyone. I'll have more to say about the vision as chair at our next meeting. Although we couldn't be here today, I want to again acknowledge Commissioner Kelly for his 2 years of leadership of the executive board, and I want to thank all of you for entrusting me to lead this board as we continue our great work together. I just want to ask if any of the other executive board members have anything to say that were just appointed and elected? Nope, nope. All right. So our next meeting is going to take place on March 9th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. here at the NJTPA office. And at this time, if I could have a motion to adjourn.
Morris moves to adjourn.
Arnold, second.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Have a good day.
So everyone.